bunch of them here and there. So it's been busy. So, but I'm really I'm happy for them.
Coach, how different do you think this scheme is going to be from what these guys have been used to playing and maybe what you had in 21? Is it going to be a merger of it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of work that the staff's doing right now to position us, the best for the AFC North and obviously the first quarter of the season. So that's our primary focus, to utilize our talents and put the guys in the right position to do that. So there are no bad ideas, especially this time of year. We want to see what our guys do best, and then anything that we feel like can impact us on defense, we're going to do it.
I've heard several draft gurus say it's a great year to be looking for defensive linemen. How much have you studied, and based on what you have, do you feel the same way?
I believe it is a good year. We've been meeting with a lot of them and spending a lot of time with them and talking to Coach Montgomery about it, and we'll see where it goes. Right now we have to be prepared for any contingency. So we have no direction it's going to go, whether it's free agency and then ultimately into the draft. So that's our job, is to be prepared when those opportunities arise, and that's what we're here to do right now.
Is 245 pounds too light to be on the edge in the AFC North? Do you have any prerequisites?
I don't know. It depends on how we utilize, that weight, and certainly how dynamic the player is. Some players are better on the move, and if we evaluate and think someone that can impact the game at that weight, then there's different ways to manipulate the front so that we're accentuating what they do best.
When you went through and did your film study, where did you land on the safety position? It's kind of been a position the last couple of years that's been in flux. So what did you make of Jordan Battle, Geno, and where do you feel?
I'm excited about it, especially, now that Jordan's got another year under his belt, and the veteran side of Geno. So, I'm excited about it. We'll see where we go, whether we, supplement that. But there's a good group, a good starting point for us, and we'll see when we get to camp in terms of how we want to utilize them and things that we're doing differently. But I think it's a great starting point for us right now.
How critical, Al, is getting a pass rush from the middle of your defensive line?
You're saying on the inside
tackle?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we feel like that's going to be really important to get a middle push, especially if you're playing a lot of 4 down. And I think the biggest thing is, when you are rushing 4, can the inside get a middle push, and can we generate pressure from 4? Because obviously that changes the way you approach the opponent. So I think anybody that would say that that's not important, it's not football in 2025. We're going to need someone that can do that.
How do you identify that, though, as a specific area you would like to see perhaps more productive from?
Yeah, I'm not there yet in terms of looking back. It's just, who are the available players moving forward? How can we best utilize them? Do certain players, re-sign with us, that type of thing. And I can't get too deep into that, but clearly, we would hope that between free agency, the draft, and re-signing players, that will have a positive impact at that position. I'm sorry. Something that's multiple, obviously multiple fronts. So 4 down, 6 up, 5 down look, and then if you needed to mix some odd in there, you can mix some odd in there. So, but to make it simple enough that you can get in and out of it, and then utilizing the strengths of each component, and not being so stratified that it's just, this is the only way we do it. I think it's really important that we're malleable, that we can fit, whether it's Lamar Jackson, where you may need to spy him a little bit more. We have to have all those pieces in the off season and work accordingly.
One of the main things that people say about you is your ability to develop players. And even yesterday, Zach and Duke talked about the alignment with you. What do you feel like is the key to being able to get the best out of someone in your times of being able to really help someone get from, B to A?
Continuous improvement, having an action plan, not just say, we have to improve at a certain thing and then, the game plans change from week to week, but the core fundamentals shouldn't. And I think if we can, if there's core fundamentals that bind us all on defense, whether it's the secondary, the D-line, or the linebackers, and if we're all, have bought in, if we all had an opportunity to develop that culture and identify those core values that we think are really important, then I think it can manifest in the players. I think it can come out on game day, and whether that's how you tackle or how you disrupt the ball or how you defeat blocks, I think those are things that if the player is hearing it in every room, including special teams, then it allows for continuous improvement, allows for development, and really to get to the point where it's second nature for them. So I don't think there's any secret sauce to that. It requires a lot of hard work, but it requires a lot of sacrifice and commitment from the coaching staff as well.
From looking at the tape for the last 5 weeks, what do you think of the strengths of the current guys you've got?
Well, I'm excited about the group. There's certain areas that I have to kind of steer away from just because of contracts or free agency or that type of thing. But I'm excited about the group and looking to supplement it, whether that's free agency or through the draft. That's for management to decide and Zach to decide. But whatever course of action that they want to take, we're ready for it. So, but I'm excited about the group and certainly, really fired up to get the guys back in the building and get reunited with some of the guys and then meet some of the players that I have not met yet.
You've got some young corners. That play pretty well balanced.
Yep, I'm excited about them. I'm looking forward to meeting them, and obviously I have a lot of confidence in Chuck too, working with them. So I'm excited about that.
Do you anticipate Dak staying outside, or could he move inside and play in the slot?
Well, it's a possibility, but again, we'll see how, at the end of the day, after we accumulated all the talent via the draft or free agency, what were the best pieces. But he's certainly a candidate to do that, and I think he knows he can do that too.
Things of the season last year was what happened to Cam Taylor-Britt, because the year before, there's talk about, could this be a Pro Bowl season for him? When you've evaluated him specifically, what do you guys need to do to get him back to being the top of his game?
Yeah, again, I think some of those things are better in-house in terms of what we decided, for his action plan coming back in April. I know he's working hard right now. I think the most important thing is that there's a concrete plan moving forward. There's clarity in terms of what we're asking him to do. There's consistency. So it's really hard for me to go back and judge, any time or place last year. It's more forward thinking and what's our plan moving forward and how do we want to use him. But I'm really excited about him as a player and what he brings. And there's a physicality there. There's a competitiveness, there's a toughness there that I know we can utilize, and I'm really looking forward to that opportunity.
What are you looking for in general? What do you look for at safety?
At safety, again, be able to command your team. I think that's really important. You got to be audible and demonstrative. You got to defend the deep ball really well, whether that's third, half, quarter, whatever that case may be, and you got to be a great tackler, especially in the alley. So there's more than that, but that's a good start. If you could start there with those three. But anytime you want to have a great defense, you have to be great up the middle from a communication standpoint. There's so much that makes up today's offenses. The pre-snap motions, the empty quads, the jet motions, all of those things. And if you're not demonstrative, if you're not confident, and it's our job to get that from our guys.
I know you said you're looking forward, but just to look back, how important was Xavier Watts to your defense?
Very, very important. He was an integral part of it, and obviously there's a comfort level when you're a play caller and you know that someone has the same heartbeat, someone understands exactly what you're looking for. So I'm excited for him and the opportunity that he has here moving forward. But it's really important that we develop that alignment here in Cincinnati. I think that's going to be critical for us is, when we're talking to all the safety group, that we're on the same page and we can communicate and we can solve problems. And more importantly, empowerment, be empowered to solve the problem. We can fix decisions, we can't fix indecision, and we got to make sure that we have decisive guys back there.
When you were coaching linebackers, did you just prepare scouting linebackers pre-draft, or did you look at other positions?
Oh, that's a great question. So there was a lot of crossover with the outside backers, and even in this draft, right, you have big safeties that are projected to be linebackers. You have smaller defensive ends that are projected to maybe go on or off the ball in that capacity. So we did kind of cross over in some areas, if we thought they can impact our team. And there's a lot of jobs for those guys to do. That's why, you just have to be really, really meticulous in terms of your evaluation, because it's not about getting the most notable player. It's about getting guys in the bandwidth that you're looking for that can help your team, that can make your team, and the jobs that they can do. Are they 4-down players? Okay, if they're 4-down players, they have a job on 3rd down. Well, that could be as a linebacker or that could be as a pass rusher. Can they do special teams? And are they, where are they on early downs? Are they just a nickel player? Can they play in the base? So those are all the things that go into it. And obviously, the more guys that you have that can fit those needs, the better your team is.
You mentioned about being reunited with some players. Logan Wilson being one of those guys. Just what excites you about getting to work with Logan once again and getting to coach him?
Well, he's one of the best people I've ever worked with, and I tell stories about him all the time. Just in terms of his competitiveness, I don't know if there's another linebacker in the same time frame that he's been in the NFL that's had more interceptions. He's got a knack for the ball. He's got great hands, and it means something to him. I'm evaluating little things from last year and trying to incorporate it into what we want to do moving forward. But I see Logan in space making tackles, in screens making tackles, and defending it the way that we want to defend it. So it brings back a lot of good memories. I just can't wait to work with him again.
With your defense, how do you balance letting guys play fast, play instinctual with having the wrinkle, the game plan that can maybe throw someone off guard that maybe you've never represented before?
Yeah, I think you got to work harder than you would want to in the OTAs and in the mini camp. I think you have to have an extensive menu developed there, and the trade-off for the players is, look, when you come in on Wednesday or Thursday, we're not going to bombard you with a million different things. We're going to draw from those things that we touched on, whether it's a specific look or trying to defend a specific player, and just try to be deep enough and forward-thinking enough that you're not always surprising the guys during the year. I think that's how you can continuously improve as the season goes on, eliminate unforced errors, which obviously is a premium in the NFL, and play fast.
Last year you played a lot of freshmen and sophomores. Did you have to adjust to put them in spots to play fast, or were you just running your defense and you had
We
guys?
just ran it. We ran it, and they caught up, and that's a credit to the staff that was there. And I feel the same way about this staff here. I haven't been with them, and we've been meeting every day for every morning for 4 hours, doing individual projects in the afternoon and evaluating. So it's been great to hear everybody's thoughts and ideas, but that's a credit to the staff, and we can't wait to get the new guys in here and start developing them.
When you take over a new unit, do you go through each player and spend X amount on that specific player and then watch the group as a whole, or how do you familiarize yourself with every aspect of the defense?
In this particular situation, the coaches were off when I accepted the job to Cincinnati, so I didn't want anything to kind of steer my perception of what I was seeing. So I watched the whole season. I watched the games first, and then we just asked everybody to evaluate their position and provide 25, 30 plays on those guys, and if everything was, if we felt there was a match there, great. If not, okay, what did you see? What can we do better? How can this player improve? So I think it's 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 comprehensive. It's not easy. Everybody's on a different level, but everybody is equally important because, again, if you go back to 21, I always remember Joe Bocci starting against Denver, and when Logan got hurt, and I remember Marcus Bailey, when Pratt went down with COVID against Kansas City, him coming through big, and I could say that about a number of different positions on that particular unit, and that's what we have to build.
Were those 25 or 30 plays good plays, bad plays?
Any plays, any play that can help us define what the strengths and weaknesses are, and obviously our job is to nullify the weaknesses and exploit our strengths and get those guys to do what they do best. And it's already been said a couple of times: play fast, enjoy the competition, and just really relish the opportunity that we have every week to go out and change the game, whether that's our tackling, disrupting the ball, getting key stops, winning on third down, all those situations that we talk about.
How do you characterize?
What's the most important thing for the guy who's going to be opposite him? Like, what traits? What do they need in terms of how you all rush together as a line?
Yeah.
What is that weak side or strong side have?
It's not just what you're saying is accurate. They have to be complementary. I think that's important. But I think what's equally important is how do we get him the one-on-ones? How do we eliminate some of the double teams? How do we eliminate some of the chips? Those types of things. So that's a variety of fronts, a bunch of different looks, and sometimes it's a pressure where we can we can demand a one-on-one block over there. So obviously Trey's had incredible success in his career, and we want to magnify that. And that doesn't always mean he's going to finish with a sack, but if he can be disruptive and get the same amount of sacks and maybe increase quarterback hurries or batted balls on his way to the quarterback, any way that he could be disruptive, that's one of our obvious goals this year.
How do you characterize the Viper position, and is it translatable to the North?
Well, I mean, it's just the name of the position. So again, whether it's the rush or the Viper, whatever it's called, it's a defensive end position that helps us align in certain fronts, just so it's less tricky for the guys, and that particular player might have different jobs based on the things that we're doing.
I don't know the answer to this, but your defensive ends, do you like them on the ball, off the ball? Do you have them drop back a lot? I guess we'll see.
Well, I like them on the ball. Is that when you say?
On the line of scrimmage, off the line of scrimmage, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, again, sometimes that's a preference. Sometimes it's based on the look of the offense that the offense has given us. So there's a number of ways, and we just have to make sure that they can do whatever jobs that we need them to do from a comfortable stance for them. But there will be occasions where they drop. I think that's important. They've obviously, all of them had done that last year, because you can't just identify, this guy's coming all the time or that guy's coming, because it's easier to draw the protection the way they want it, and we got to try to prevent that.
You mentioned Dax. You'll see how it plays out, see how he feels at various positions in the secondary. Have you taken a look at other players in on the defense, projected starters, perhaps reserves, who could move around and play multiple positions with him?
No, I mean, again, I don't want to get into too much detail this time of year, but no, we have, because it's important for us to go into the OTAs, the mini camps with 3 or 4 deep. So we've identified guys that we think can be nickels and play in the slot. But Dax is definitely one of them, and we're excited to see how that plays out this spring.
It's your first opportunity to be an NFL defensive coordinator. Do you relish this part of it, the chance to build the unit?
Well, it's exciting, obviously, to be with this group and this organization, and be with Coach Taylor and Mr. Brown, and obviously to be in a situation where we can impact the team, and right now we're trying to plot a course and find the best pieces for our puzzle moving forward, and it's challenging. It's continually in flux, and I think that part of it you have to be really good. You got to be sharp, and we have to be have a collective mentality on defense in terms of what we need and what we got to get done here in the next 3 months.